a dozen delectable baked goods and places each one in the oven. His last bidding for that day, after that he'd be done. When observing all the crumbs that came from cookies, cakes, and muffins, he was never one to favor waste and thought of it as in poor taste. And so a bowl was commandeered and that table thoroughly scraped into a mix that he would fix for only his taste buds alone. Tried it, then decided that perhaps he should just bring some home to share with those he loved the most. Thought it might be pretty good, not his best work by any means, but he knew that they understood that sometimes a baker has to bake, because for heaven's sake, the business side of business is very often seldom cake. And sometimes you have to share that excitement with all your friends. Made a batch for that whole town and invited every one of them. Tried it, said it was okay, approached him shortly after, asked him for the name. The baker said, I think I'll call it Patchworks.
It's very commonly said that the root of most human unhappiness is the sense that one's life has no meaning. This is, I suppose, most frequently said in circles interested in psychotherapy, because the feeling of meaninglessness is often equated with the existence of neurosis. And so many activities into which one is encouraged to enter.
Remember how TV used to be when we were kids? All ADD for Ritalin and quick cuts to give a whole story. Story is a relative term. I give them credit for trying to give us edits to learn, but in turn, most of us told our attention to churn. Nervous apprehension, neon highlighted words. I'd say in general, I think we're all a little embarrassed that we're holding the record for moving back with our parents, cause the stuff that we cherish became abruptly compared to just a hobby. And therein lies the problem apparent, because to be just a hobby is inherently careless, treating every day as if your first name was Ferris. Now, then was then, and it's good that it was. That time is ended, and enough is enough. Nothing better that we believe in is waiting for us. It's all a setup, the generation of just because. Now we're supposed to fix this country, skateboards and all. Cowabunga to the lunch meat, lockers to the halls, last place trophies, and everybody is gifted. No child's left behind, and nobody gets skipped. This makes the truth a whole lot harder to deal with when you get into the real world. Start dealing with real shit. All of a sudden, you don't get something for nothing. You falsify your resume and then continue the buffing. Don't think it gets easier, I assure you it doesn't. You just get better at telling yourself you are what you wanted. At least you're not what you promised yourself. You got to accomplish something that you can say honestly made a smidgen of progress, and ain't nobody is watching, so I continue on talking about whatever I want, because there's nothing to stop me. These days, no one even listens to the second verse. Attention deficits for whatever it's worth. Thanks again, Snack. This one's just for shits and giggles. Mostly shit. First off, I've been called mediocre before. Enough times, and thus I'm able to be ignored. In a world where bad can turn $1 million and get paid, then hell, who knows what I can do just being okay. Ego aside, at least I tried, but in no way will I let it die when good tidings don't hold weight. Most say I'm better than most, and so I hope they will be the ones showing their faces like a close shave. Similes not like exactly my forte. Punchlines are weaker than paying money for foreplay. God forbid forbid we don't have a comparison. The "you sound like that guy" comment is more embarrassing for the people who make it, cause honestly I've been cherishing all that they have mistaken for hetero white Americans. Potential means room to improve, admit that. Potential also means that you haven't done shit yet.
Sir.
What?
Are either one of these any good?
I don't watch movies.
Well, have you heard anything about either one of them?
I find it's best to stay out of other people's affairs.
You mean you haven't heard anybody say anything about either one of these?
Nope.
Well, what about these two?
Oh, they suck.
I don't think Jesus ever thought he was a prophet. I think he got put in that position, thus adopted a new clever method for getting people to listen to suggestions dictated from authoritative positions. But the backlash, people were furious at his arrogance. You're not the son of God, superimpose their comparisons. I'm not saying we're bigger than, say, John Lennon, or better than that guy. And I'm not even pretending to be cooler than your friend that raps. Please don't get offended in my request for autonomy, rather for your attention. And don't take ambition as a personal attack on the courage you lack to risk it every chance you had. It's harder to admit that it's good than say it's whack. Like it's harder for the server to admit it should be set back. Accountability validates my existence. For better or worse, still forced to have opinions. Moments of clarity and moments of confusion, moments of despair that lead to moments of conclusions. As in epiphanies, not halting forward movement. The burden that's my gift, it seems to be my institution. Still I rock a smile more than I think I need to keep you in a smile, even if mine is see-through. But I would say that more often than not, I am happy throughout the day till the moment is lost and I slip back to an accurate attachment of how I felt, self-dissatisfaction. But it's expected, it's how it had to happen, cause I don't act unless it's a reaction. Thus, forward thinking, 2 moves in advance has got me overlooking the prominent next chance. So I dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. Self-deprivation, Posse making stanzas like a new favorite pastime, like to hide in crowded rooms, sip drinks and act benign. With that I find that everybody has their own act to hide. Suddenly I don't feel so alone, and that's fine. As an artist, you either love or hate yourself, both of which are acts. Lo and behold, you make your health. The polarization of self-worth, bizarre ride. As an artist, the best I can say is that I'm alright. I'm not like the second coming of anybody. Besides, there's too much pressure. I'm lazy and kinda hungry. If something is what is coming, it's probably not nothing. Wordy confused is deep, and he confused as bluffing. Luck be my lady and maybe give me a chance as I play Swayze. Maybe give me this dance with the pale moon and this devilish light. Self-deprivation, Posse making stanzas.
I'll fuck it many times. Once or twice is a nice way of putting it.
Once the novelty that you're on a bus wears off and you grow accustomed to the stench of their socks, there's little left in the way of making manhood while maintaining a sense of self-eating canned goods and good riddance to the comforts I've abandoned. Man should step out of himself and companion the unknown. In our case, it smells like feet. And though oppressive, I'll confess that this is what we have needed. We don't define success as simply being free, so we're fine spend a day and night simply driving the point home. What's the point of trying to avoid a home? It's not about running from it, running to a life alone. Microphones, I'm getting to know you better. Sound checks, realized idealism that we haven't found yet. Initially it sounded like an easy way out, astounded by all the stupid shit falling out my mouth.
100 kisses
and just pass them around.
100 sighs
and just
around.
100 kisses.
And just pass them around.
100 sounds.
Loaded on kind of food, compliments and cigarettes, proof of paying dues, no matter how you figure it. Years make distance, the road makes little kids. At least these years I am okay with living with. Pivoted to about face on a soft heel, measured by the amount of time on a steering wheel. When the real world makes the most of my brief appearance in no form of my own coincidence, I stand by every stupid thing I've said and every fucked up thought that's crossed across my head. But exhausted, some things don't take no for an answer and would die for the cause or the chance to advance the cause they are dying for. Because what we can't turn into a way to get paid for the banter. Lantern, nah, burns more like a flashlight. Focus, more focus, pass forward when you act right.
No, they're for you. Just take them. Just take them.
And just pass them around.
Give them out to your friends. We don't really care. Like, we'd rather have you
And just pass it around.
Honestly, just take it and give it. We don't care if it gets back to us.
And just pass them around.
Just here, did you get one to your friend? Make sure he gets one too.
And just pass it around.
No, grumpy looking one. Just pass it around.
Starts in the heart, compartmentalize these sizes apart from hardship. The lives we start to embark as artists, we thrive on minimalistic apartments.
What the state is, everything out seems outdated. Up jumping boogie to the latest, feeling so elated. Made it from what's blatant in a hope now, scoping something sacred like a vacancy approach.
Like top our pride, we charge by the card slips. I've seen stars discard by the farthest. Outreach for garbage, I don't call them martyrs. No death for cause, just left in the margins.
Took my notes on the ropes, had to spar through a jab, took a punch, uppercut to my jaw. Well, that's how it felt to me. Play the cards from the hand that they dealt to me. One scar, now ain't even got a welt on me. The white boy's getting darker in his belt agrees. Had to beat down the beat when it kick back. Keep a mindful of the impact and risk intact. Till it's leisure that ensues, I leave it up to when and if I'm eager for a move. Reaching towards a steeple for my people like a view. Unbelievable, some content ain't believable to you.
Ha! Now let's breathe new fresh air into music. Accept their extinction as part of evolution. Be left thinking, yes, this is obtrusive. What is this Leviathan description? It's elusive. Start by applying them vocabulary nuisance. No sense in trying defying what is the movement implying when it says that it's sick of looking stupid. Takes more to get home than ruby shoes in 2 clicks.
There's no place like home.
This here's reality, no man behind a curtain except the one that says the show is done and death is certain. Of nothing but the fun it was, searching for its purpose. Lucky, a decade of missed hits and worthless words that were given as a limit to its service. La Brea tar sinks, so I shall not disturb it.
I do on 20. That's extra practice, son. Extra practice. 20 times better. Alright, no, for real. Alright. You like rainy days go away, hit the road away till you can't control the brakes and get towed away. But not pajamas, I'm on it, the sky falling, I'm a cold cop to sit. Warm socks, hot chocolate. I don't sweat it, dawg. It's not a marathon. Another day coming, sunshine, what I'm stepping on. May I direct you all, focus your attention to the flow. It ain't dope. Let's go and get some chicken. Extra biscuits on me, yep, it's okie doke. See the folk at the show, man, they know me. I'm HP, Rain's leader, alien attack. I'm laid back, you better go and get the stretcher. I bet you by golly, wow, with the brother. That's a clown, that's a lover, that's a smiling mother. Pick up the telly kid, call the belly in. Said the weather bad, and I'm very sick. He said he illin' too, it might be critical. We hit the studio, then we killed the booth. We'll send the flower in gray skies and powder pants. I got my funky rain boots on, I'm about to dance. Sucker. Yeah, there it is. Whatever's good. You're not really a sucker, I work. Unless you're cheap, then I don't lose.
living off the little things, the kind of things that make me appreciate every little aspect of the kid in me. Simply put, I understand why the canopy shook. Canopy took a little less serious family look. I pack trunks for days this rainy, cause having to hold this umbrella's hardly worth a complaint. That my legs get wet anyway, rather be entertaining, pertaining to lousy weather. It's better to be like Swayze. Not lazy, but not waiting for the sun to save me and save the complaints for something that I can change. We have a way of blaming our conditions. Every loss of inhibition don't have a cost of admission, but it's exhaustingly vicious to be so pissed every minute. And why the gift that is rhythm don't have an end or beginning, it just gives back what you give it. And why I chose to give it back to my man Haj. We're invested in beauty, not worry about your damn flaws. Basically, the whole joint
turn all the volume up just a little bit
to capture the effect.
Yeah,
like a lot of people.
Thank you, Jamie.
I'm talking in the room at the same time, so
like,
that it
then
sounds
they came
like
into the
I'm
store
actually in a crowd
with
like
like
a
you look
purse.
adorable.
And she just started stuffing socks into a purse. Have a lot of friends and shit, and then I don't know. And maybe if I'm lucky, I won't have to work here anymore. And I can hardly make it another minute in this place. My time spent watching the seconds tell me it's not a waste of my life, and I'll call you a liar to your face.
Bullshit.
Fuck. It's only been like 2 minutes since my last break, for God's sake. I don't think I got what it takes to work 8 straight hours when I know that my wage is the bare minimum that my boss has to pay, so my efforts reflect that, and it's not a bad day. More like suspended animation. My patience is checked at the door. The best they can expect ain't respect, but rather just being ignored. All fair in love and war, but not in the workplace. Things I got a budget for got me stuck in the worst way. In cursed days, lost behind this register at hurt pace. First base, fantasies with every single hurt face. Persuade myself to seek help in the first page of classifieds. Pass the time looking for the perks. Maybe I don't really need another job, just for job's sake. Made a career out of my free time and odd breaks. Feeling alright, I'll settle for just okay. It's a small fight for me to earn what I have paid. Why? Because this job is a joke. Why I had enough time for all this shit that I wrote, and I'm not really too concerned with how it all sounds. The price is right on this one, that's why we put it down. Cause our next album is sure to be due out now, anytime as soon as we're done queuing this one. Like, wow. And if it looks serious enough, they'll think it's important, but really it's just done for fun, an evasion of boredom. They don't listen, cause they simply don't have the patience. That's why we sound like Charlie Brown's Education, like womp womp womp, and those dubstep trends lost inside of a swamp of your serotonin friends. When 7 a.m. rolls around, try to pretend that you actually wish this night would never end. But I'm tired, and all I really want is to go to bed. I'm stuck here at work and so lost inside of my head. My boss is coming, I'll tell him I'm taking notes about the loss of a summer, and end it all with a quote like,
"You're on dangerous ground here. You're causing a major disturbance on my time."
I've been thinking about this, Mr. Hand. If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time? Certainly there's nothing wrong with a little feast on our time.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Spicoli. It is our time. Yours, mine, and everyone else's in this room.
I love work. Work's fine, work's great, although it tends to interfere with so many of my play dates. Jimmy down the block just got an RC dump truck, and here I am ringing up clothes for some poor schmuck, feeling like a dumb fuck. Oftentimes I'm awestruck. People really wear this stuff? Here comes so-and-so talking about such and such. He picked his nose and then handed me his credit card. That sack of lard. Who's got them gloves? Tell me, who's got the gloves? Somebody, anybody, who's got the gloves? Rubber glove, please slip onto my finger. This next hour should be a real humdinger. If only I had a Game Boy, or a Game Boy Pocket, or a Game Boy Color, or a Sega Game Gear to get me through the shift, plus a beer and a stick of deodorant. I'm moving in slow motion and my motor skills are showing me a steady decline. As I repeat, next in line, please, next in line. Hunched on the counter, I be dreaming about Boba Fett. Better yet, if I was a bounty hunter collecting debt. With a jetpack, dodging that pit Sarlacc. Sitting back with Greedo, we be sipping on some six-packs. Fuck that dude Solo, thinking he be dope in that shitty ride, spit and jive. Give me 5, I'm out of here. Vader, he be picking up ladies. Woke from my dream by some spitting up baby puke guy on the street who be killing the recorder flute is gonna make me rip my fucking ears out. This is a family business, sir. Better watch what you be spouting off. Please go back home, resume eating from the slop trough. Cough, giggle, plastic milf, booty wiggle, looking at some slutty skirt, nut hugging jeans are bugging me out. Back to work.
Why don't you get a job, Spicoli?
What for?
You need money.
All I need are some tasty waves, a cool buzz, and I'm fine.